Wasn't intending to speak to you.
Well, that's who you got, because I'm here.
Well, you told me for us to not have any kind of communications.
Well, I was mad at you, Juvie.
Well, whenever you say something, I intend for you to back it.
I understand, but you was mad at me. My wife understood why I was mad at you.
I think I had a reason to be mad.
No, you didn't. But that's over and done with. Okay, that's water under the bridge.
Whenever you went in that sale,
What?
whenever you had the PA me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you woke up that whole pod.
I didn't.
They did, because you was trying to do a good deed. And then whenever you come into that sale, that marked me as me being working for the law.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You remember whenever I was locked up for 37 days, whenever I attempted to
Well, I
commit
go back there
suicide?
and talk to you about your dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Well, it wasn't about the dog. It was about, what's his name that was staying in...
Crowder? Yeah.
What's his first name?
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey. It was of that event. He was trying to pre-warn me of, he was staying there, and I guess you just wanted to verify
Yeah,
that
I think we were looking for him too.
you may have been. May have been.
But you seen what happened while he was there, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They ripped off everything. Guns and all. Took everything. Basically wiped me out. But what I'm saying is you could have handled it in a different way.
Okay.
Or it's calling me out.
I didn't call you out, you're just in jail, and that's just how we talk to somebody.
I was in jail, but you could have called me out. That way everybody
Well,
in the
that's-
brotherhood wouldn't have seen me talking to them.
I wouldn't worry about what people think. What can I do for you?
I was gonna ask you, I'm still having trouble out of these people. The Ridgeway, the Sheffields.
Okay.
I'm still having trouble out of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Sheffield, son, another third party. Is this gonna go on in my life indefinitely towards me being agitated and aggravated and stopped and violated as a third-class citizen at 291 Thompson Road, Sharon, Tennessee, zip code 32555?
You talking about by these folks?
By these folks or any other
What they're
folks?
doing right there?
By them folks or any other folks?
Well,
Is this gonna go on indefinitely?
The stalking part probably not gonna be stalking. That would be up to the DA to show that. But nobody says, no, you don't have to, but.
I mean, am I gonna have to
There-
eventually take the law into my own hands?
Somebody's driving by and flipping you off, it's not illegal, it's not a crime.
But if they stop
It's not a
and
crime.
they're sitting there raising hell, you don't have the right to stop in front of somebody's house and raise hell. You can't tell me, Mr. Coble, that there ain't a law against that.
It would be.
Regardless whether it's disorderly conduct or
It would be
disturbing the
disorderly
peace
conduct.
or whatever it may be, there has to be a law to stop that, especially due to the fact that I made 2 telephone calls from Oklahoma that was non-threatening. It cost me 9.5 months towards me staying in Hopkinsville, Kentucky in Christian County Jail.
Could it be harassment at a point? Yes. We'd have to be able to prove that at some point, yeah. And that's not up to us to prosecute that, that's up to the DA to prosecute.
Well, whenever I
Yeah, At
have,
some point, yes.
well, whenever I have law enforcement as well as the judicial system in this county that's against me because they have become biased because of my ideology, I'm sure it's because of my religion. I'm just speaking in general here.
Okay.
I'm really caught between a hard place and a rock whenever it comes to defending my rights out of 291 Thompson Road.
But you're not the only one this stuff happens to like that. Most,
That's irrelevant to what's going on in my particular life. What's going on in my particular life has now been going on, has been generated since I moved back here in 2014. So we're looking at a 4.5-year period that I guarantee you, y'all got a log of it, of every telephone call, of every officer that's been out there, either at 430 Beach Grove Road or 291 Thompson Road.
Yeah.
And it's probably a stick of paperwork that freaking thick in counting the telephone calls. When is it gonna stop? That's my $64,000 question. And how are you gonna stop it?
Jimmy, that man sitting in the road, that's not illegal. Him to drive by.
To sit there
you
and
off.
harass somebody and raise teetotal hell is against the law.
You can talk with the DA if he would pursue harassment. Yes, we can do that. Yeah, we can. But if the DA's not behind us, we can't.
Everybody in the judicial system is against me. Because they've already done marked me either as
That's
a nut,
who I have to go after.
they've either marked me as a nut, or they've marked me as a criminal. They've tried to criminalize me since all that stuff come up in my life in 1991 with Secret Service.
But you see what I'm trying to tell you? If I decided to start John Doe over here.
Your charges don't mean nothing.
With whatever.
If you don't have somebody to back.
I gotta have the DA to pursue it.
Right.
If he says no, I can't do anything.
Right.
Nothing. The DA can trump anything I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I guess the judge can trump anything the DA wants to do.
The judge can, yeah, the judges can do pretty much what they want.
They can trump it.
They can, yeah. They can dismiss or whatever they want to do. You can, I mean, you can charge, I can charge anybody with anything.
But that don't mean nothing.
It's gotta get through the steps.
Right.
And that's not me.
And this is fair and just.
I'm not saying it's fair and just. I'll never disagree or agree with anything. It's always fair and just, but I don't control that part of it.
But as long as it's been going on, for surely proof is in the pudding towards who the pursuers are and who the victims are. Do you agree with that? As long as it's been going on for 4.5 years.
Would I get aggravated with them doing that? Yeah, I would too. But I look at things a little different. I wouldn't care.
Did you know that somebody come out there
If they ain't pulling in my driveway, they're good.
they did pull in my driveway.
But
About
they're
four
trespassing.
about 4.5, 5 hours later, about 12 or 1 o'clock at night, somebody come out there on one of them razors or one of them four-wheelers and done donuts out there in my yard. Now, would you like somebody to go out there and destroy your green,
Sure would.
precious green yard that you've
Would
been
not.
mowing
Nope.
and taking care of all year?
Won't disagree with you on that. I mean, I would be mad too. Absolutely.
So how do I stop it?
You gotta be able to prove it's them. Does your camera show it's them?
I didn't have my camera on at the time.
Just what I'm saying, your camera at your house, if you have one, or before you can get them on video, we have to be able to prove it, because 99% of the time, we get somewhere, something's already happened.
Well,
I can't prove it's him, because I didn't see him do it.
according to the officer, does it say here what officer it was that come out here on this trip?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it at?
Oh, the one that come out there to you?
Yeah.
Look it over. Well, maybe it's on this side, I'm sorry. Yeah, that'd be, primary was Deputy Hodges and, Deputy Childers.
Do you know him?
I know both of them, I work with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
According to the primary deputy,
Mm-hmm.
this
You
is,
talk to the gentleman, tall guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
according to him, this isn't the first rodeo that he's run into pertaining to the Jackson and the Ridgeway and the Sheffield case down there.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that there's an incident, he would attempt to go to Donald Ridgeway's house, or I'm assuming Josh Sheffield's house. And he would honk on the horn, and he would get out and knock on the door, and no one would come to the door. And he said, by law, there's nothing that I can do to make them come to the door, because I don't have a warrant in my hand to make them come out and to try to work things out verbally
That is
or
correct.
audibly like that.
Well, you can't make somebody come outside and talk to you.
Right,
Unless we got an arrest warrant, that's a different ballgame.
That's a
Or
different
papers
ballgame.
Or something.
right, that's a different ballgame.
But, under the circumstances, it's what we can prove. I mean, I'm just telling you, there's many times that there's a lot of things that I don't ever think's right.
Do you think do you think my
No.
imagination is running wild
No.
on every one of these incidences that
Nope.
not only I made, but David made? Because you come out to 430 Beach
Do I
Road.
think you're just making this up?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Because you heard testimony coming out of my brother's mouth himself
I talked
towards
to him
him.
for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No, I don't. I think they are doing what you say they're doing. I do.
so what do I do?
You have to be able to prove it in court. You have to be able to, would it be fall under harassment? That would probably be as far as it would go with me under
If
harassment.
I feel like that my life is in danger to the point that they're on my property, or they're breaking in my house, or they're in my pole barn, I got a right to protect myself, don't I, Mr. Coble?
If they're on your property,
If they're on my property, or if they're attempting to attack me in my home,
yes, you have a right.
I have a right to protect myself,
Yes,
don't I?
absolutely.
Regardless whether I got a baseball bat, a club,
You have a
or
right
a
to
or
protect
a
yourself.
crowbar.
If you fear for your life, you have a right to protect yourself and
Right.
your animals, you or whatever. I mean, whoever's there. I fear that I have a right to protect Billy if I need to. I mean, if I needed to. I can do that. If he's around me and I feel like I need to
Well,
have.
that's,
to protect him.
that's another ballgame.
No, I'm talking about if he was at my
That's
house, on my property. If I was on your property, or he was on your property, or somebody comes to your property like you're talking about here, and you're in fear of your life, yes, you have a right to protect yourself.
Is Mike Wilson here?
I do not know. I just got in, but I ain't been here for about 20 minutes. I don't know if he's here or not. I don't know. I can ask.
What's gonna settle the score here?
With them,
With me and the judicial system, towards the judicial system doing what they're supposed to be doing to the point that they're not committing dereliction of duty. And that's exactly what I see is Tommy Moore, Tommy Thomas, Mike Wilson, the whole shit caboodle. It's dereliction of duty because if the truth be known,
right?
this should have been taken care of on a proper stance way before I ever come back here in 2014, Mr. Goldman. Whenever David got taken down on his own property with his own gun in 2010, the same year that my father died, that's the year that somebody should have got heavy and hard on the Ridgeway family to the point that all this crazy stuff, all this insanity stuff wouldn't be going on right now.
Right.
I wouldn't be facing all this because somebody would have made an example out of them to the degree that they wouldn't have no longer been treating us this way. And it's not just Juby. This has been going on with David, this has been going on with Danny, and it was going on with Bobby, my father. So these are ongoing occurrences. Is it gonna take somebody on a slab before I get the right ears and the right attention?
What do you think we should do? As far as the standpoint, what they're doing is not like us.
It's probably considered trivial.
It is.
It's probably considered trivial, but as many times as it went on, you can't tell me that the DA couldn't get in behind it and say, this is stalking. Because they don't even have a tenant over there no more. They hadn't had a tenant over there in over a year across the road.
That's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for me in one way, as long as they don't stop to raise hell. And there's four-wheelers and those razors goes up and down the road almost every day, and I don't have a problem at all with going up and down the road
I've seen
having
them for
fun.
record.
You know what I'm saying? Because I used to have fun on a three-wheeler whenever I was growing up.
Right.
And you used to have fun on a three-wheeler when you was growing
I did.
up. So you can't deny kids to have the option of having fun. And I don't have a problem in that. But whenever you stop to raise hell in front of my house, then you're no longer having fun. Then you're agitating.
I always told you, that's what they try to do, they want you to give them a reaction. That when you give somebody a reaction, that gives them their thrill.
Is it because they're out
When
in
you
the country
don't.
and they're on drugs and they don't have nothing else to do with their lives? They don't have bowling alleys to go to, roller skate rings to go to. They don't have theaters close by. They don't have other amenities to go to keep their lives occupied. Is that why?
I don't know why people do what they do. I ask myself that
It's
every day.
insanity.
But
And I'm having to deal with insanity
what I'm
type
telling you,
situations.
You see it, I see it. When you don't give somebody the reaction they're looking for, at some point they just forget it. But as long as you're giving them a reaction by yelling at them, telling them, go on, whatever you're doing, and you see,
Less than a week.
that helps.
Less than a week.
That makes it, what you're giving them is what they want.
You're saying it feeding the fire.
Yes,
I know what you're
exactly.
saying. Within a week after Donald Ridgeway died,
I didn't know he died for a week.
within a week after he died, I was still being agitated and aggravated by this family of them coming out there and doing the exact same thing that their grandfather or their father was doing within a week after he died. So it had to slow down. Just because I've slowed down on the telephone calls doesn't mean that the activities have slowed down, because they haven't.
Don't feed the fire.
Well, whenever I'm out there at sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, how can you blame that on me?
I know
Whenever
the
somebody
part.
gets out there and turns around and around in circles out there in my yard, how can you
I get
even
that.
remotely say that I'm feeding
I
fire?
get the part at 2 o'clock in the morning. I get that.
Or anytime they want to stop and just raise moral hell.
I get that.
What would you think if somebody kept doing that to your niece or your cousin or your sister or your in-law? What would you think if they kept doing you
Well, I
that
told
way?
you, don't feed the fire.
I'm not feeding the fire. It's coming to me.
Don't feed the
The
fire.
fight's coming to me.
They're coming down here in front of your house.
Yes.
It's a tough thing to,
No, it ain't. It ain't tough. If it was your niece, if it was your sister, if it was her sister or her niece, y'all would stop. You don't want to stop. See ya. You don't want to stop. Weekly County Jail.